Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. It will be cold tonight. The low temperature will be 26. So prepare for freezing temperatures and take care of your pets and other animals. Make sure they will be warm as well. The sewer and water lines are finished and a cement stabilized base and repave will begin in December on Pampa Street, according to City Manager Mark Maxwell. In his manager's report to the city Tuesday night, Maxwell noted that repaving will begin in December on Calvert, Junelle, Beth, Razier, and Rose Streets. A portion of Gossett Lane will also be repaved. 400 linear feet of Woodside Lane will also be reconstructed. Maxwell said the next capital improvement project for the city will replace 2,400 linear feet of aging sewer force main and 2,900 linear feet of main that passes through the middle of the hospital complex. The proposed route for the new main will go around the hospital complex, thus averting future problems. 1/3 of the city's sewage passes through that line. Work on Crosstown Trail that will connect Coleman Park to Buford Park, as well as the high school and civic center complex with a concrete path, has begun. Sidewalk on the north side of Conley Street will also be replaced during this project. City Finance reports that sales tax are up $19,000 compared to last year.
We're really blessed to have Richard Fischel with us today. Richard got his undergraduate degree at the University of Texas, and then he wised up and got his master's degree at the University of North Texas. He has spent about 40 years working in economics in the field of jobs and job training programs. He's presented about 500 programs across the state, and I think we're in for a treat, so please welcome Rich to the stage.
About 150 local business people attended the Hopkins County Chamber of Commerce, Sulphur Springs Hopkins County Economic Development Corporation's Economic Outlook Conference. Chamber Manager Leslie Brown summarized the event.
Overall, I thought it was a huge success. Yesterday, Mr. Richard Fischel came in and talked with us, gave us a little bit of an economic outlook for Hopkins County for the upcoming year, and also, I think not just the upcoming year, but in the future in general. And also added a different element than we've ever had before, which is a little more of the workforce element to it, talking about jobs that people are looking for, what they're needing, and kind of what's going on here in Hopkins County.
We had fairly decent attendance.
Yes, we did. We had about 150 people signed up to come yesterday.
What do you hope they took out of that?
So I really hope that they understood. He spent a lot of time catering it to Hopkins County, really looking at the numbers and getting a good understanding of this one county. Out of the 254 that there are in Texas, he really spent a lot of the time concentrating on it and where we are, what we're looking at. The difference between 1975 and today, I thought was very interesting information. So when you fast forward another 25 years, what are we going to be looking at? And I felt like he put us in a really good place to have a good understanding of all of that.
In 2016, the percent living with parents and the percent living with parents or a family member. So you got 61% in 2016 of millennials or 18 to 34-year-olds living with parents or family. Anybody remember when they turned 18? What was the first thing you wanted to do? Get out of Dodge. Right? First thing you wanted to do when you hit 16 was do what? Get a driver's license when you were 18? Absolutely. Got out of town. Today, not a different thing. The average age of new driver's license issued is now over 17 years old. Right? Anybody that waited in my day, anybody that waited until they were 17 to get a driver's license, but we didn't even talk to those people. Here's the interesting thing. Percent living with a spouse. 1975, 32%, less than 20% by the time we got to 2016. Homeowners, 52% in 75, under 30% in 2016. Now this is where it gets interesting. The percent with bachelor's degrees. In 75, 23%. By 2016, 37%. So that current generation of 18 to 34-year-olds is much more educated than the same generation was when we were coming through in 1975. Oh, and by the way, when you look at the employment numbers, they are much more committed to work, much more committed to being in the labor market than that same cohort was in 1975. Here's their major challenge. See this median income? 1975, $36,850, adjusted for inflation, is actually less than what that cohort earned in 1975. So you add on top of that the cost of education, which is student loan debt and the like, and you look at the actual negative earnings between those two time periods. Now you see why a lot of those millennials are sort of complaining about the fact that you baby boomers had a whole lot easier than what we have in terms of being able to make investments in homes, being able to enjoy conspicuous consumption, if you will. It's kind of interesting. On that median income side, men actually have an even bigger decline. Women, an increase of between 22 and 29. Still well below men, but they're actually on the upswing. Anybody know why? Yeah. Some are not working. Not actually. These are ones that are working. Why would their income have increased between 75 and 2016? What? Education. When you look at how many women are now going through higher education, the percentage of women that are matriculating into college is about 5 percentage points or 6 percentage points above where men are. Right? Interesting. That's part one. Part two is, what are they studying? They still traditionally tend to be in healthcare and education, both of which are relatively high paying and have been relatively immune from the effects of inflation.
You suppose you're going to bring him back?
I think we're going to bring him back in some different capacities. He does another talk to maybe 8th grade students, talking about getting ready to make high school choices, career versus college, vocational, what are you looking at doing? Just helping make those decisions at an early age, kind of a pivotal point in life, right at that 8th grade area. So we may consider bringing him back to talk to 8th graders and 8th grade parents and counselors and teachers. So it'll be fun.
The Riley Springs Jamboree will also be a dance this Saturday night, December 9th, at the Senior Center in Sulphur Springs, usually held on the third Saturday night of every month. The Jamboree is coming to town for a benefit dance to help the Senior Center raise money for their brand new building. With Karen Weatherman. Good morning, Karen.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and from the Senior Center, your director there.
Yep.
And thank you for inviting us in. Roger and I and the band will be there from the Jamboree at the dance Saturday night. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning, Nola.
Hey, thank you for coming in, too. Well, Karen, I know you just met Roger just a few minutes ago. So Roger has been associated with the Riley Springs Jamboree for just about a dozen years.
Just about 11, I believe, 2006.
And through that time, we've put on 12 shows a year, so that's a lot of shows. And lots of different band members and singers and guests through the years that we've had on stage. What are some of the things you remember from our jamborees past?
Well, things I remember in the beginning, my family and I, when we first started the Jamboree, it was kind of just a family show. That was kind of before I got real familiar with what you were doing with the Jamboree. We had my nieces and sister-in-laws and just anybody that would be on the show that we could get some talent to come in. We had Rocky Lennon, if you remember him. He was a honky-tonk keyboard player, and he helped me a whole lot to put our first shows together. And, Rocky's passed on now, but we were really grateful for Rocky, and he kind of helped me get familiar with the stage and all. And, we've had Jerry Knight and Hugh Blair and Ricky Rainey. We've had some really, really great players. We've had musicians come across that stage you wouldn't even believe would have came to Hopkins County. We've had the Dion Pride Show 2 times already. We had Hannah Kirby this past year. She did a great show. All of our shows have been great. I don't care if it's a solo show or up to a 10-piece band, and we've had some 10-piece bands tripping over microphone cords and all. It's all been a lot of fun, though, and it's always been a pleasure working with you on the show.
Thank you, Roger, and we've got a big 2018 planned already.
We do. We have a great show coming up.
So we want you to know that the Riley Springs Jamboree, Karen, is held, and please come out there sometime real soon, is held on the third Saturday of every month at Riley Springs, except for the rare occasion we come to town, and we're coming to town this Saturday night.
Awesome.
So is your place big enough for us to put the band in and hold a dance?
It'll be tight.
Okay. It'll be cozy, let's say.
Yeah, it'll be cozy.
The reason why we're doing this, Karen, and thank you for letting us, this is what we want to do for Giving at Christmas, is raise money for your new senior center.
Yeah, I need all the help that I can get.
Tell us your plans, about the actual drawn plans and your hopes and wishes for it.
Well, my plan is for about an 8,000 or 9,000 square foot building, and larger if I could get it. And of course, I want a big room that I can have my proms.
Your Miss Hopkins County Senior Pageants.
Miss Hopkins County, so I need a stage. My 90-plus banquet. All of these things I have to move away. And my Olympics, I have to move that away. So, and even my proms, I have them there, but I have to limit how many people can, I can only hold 100 comfortably with all my tables. So anyway, and then I want a media room. I want a library. I want a place that the yoga people can go do yoga. I want a place where we have a craft room. Of course, I have to have the commercial kitchen because we do meal a day. If we have a bigger kitchen, we can feed more people. Right now, we're limited to 160 or 80 people that we can feed.
There is so much going on at the Senior Center, Roger, throughout a month, let's say any normal month. There's meetings at night, there's uses during the day, and just overlapping uses there in that one little place. It reminds me of like being at home and you got one like dining room table and you got the sewing machine, but if you want to eat, you got to take the sewing machine down and set the table, or if you want to cut, or you got it just a one-use area, and that we really need more space.
Yeah, I can only have one event at a time there. And, well, a couple of days a week they have 42 and yoga, and that just doesn't match. That doesn't go together. When you're trying to be tranquil and do yoga, and then people are throwing dominoes and
it's like a big family there in one large space. But I remember I stopped in one day for lunch, and my entertainment while I was eating was watching the exercise people do their thing.
And that's a huge group.
Yeah, you do lots and lots of things there and serve our seniors population amazingly well.
I try.
But a bigger senior center would be nice.
Yeah.
And Roger, I believe there's a piece of land that has been donated.
Yeah. Jim Thompson, our county treasurer, his mother and dad own this land, and she decided she wanted to donate it. So they donated. It's 3.5 acres out at Coleman Park. It butts up to Coleman Park. And
that would be a good place for a senior center.
Perfect, yeah. We can use the entrance to the park. It's right by the retirement. Oh my goodness, what is it called?
Crossing.
Pioneer Crossing. Yes. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, it'd be right there. All those guys could use it too. So.
Well, Roger, while we're putting on the dance Saturday night, I'm hoping that people will come, take seats there, get up and dance on the open area there. Those that don't want to come, or those that don't want to dance, please come and listen to the music that our band is going to put on.
Yes, we have a really good band, and we play a lot of good dance music. We've got some Christmas songs in there for the season. It's going to be a really good time. Gary Jones, myself, and Bill Langley, we're going to be a three-piece band, keep the cost down, But we have a great sound. Me and Gary have been together for around 6 years, and he's a really good artist to work with. Matter of fact, he made the front page newspaper this week. I was really proud of that. Anytime you have somebody that works with you, that has performed for celebrities and carried on, Gary explained to me that most of his touring with Ray Price was at the lost my mind.
Grand Ole Opry?
Yeah, at the Grand Ole Opry, yeah. My wife went there twice this past year, and I guess I got too much on my mind.
Yesterday's local newspaper has a big picture of Gary Jones there on stage at the Grand Ole Opry, and he'll be in our band this Saturday night. He appears with Roger's band frequently.
He's a great singer as well.
He is. So, but if you can't stay or you don't want to dance, come and visit around with folks and bring or just drop off a check. You know, you can pay the $10 admission to come in the door there for the dance on Saturday night, or you can write a bigger check.
Yeah.
Hand it off to Karen, and that goes directly into the building fund for the senior center. Where are we kind of at right now?
Well, I have $20,000 in my building fund right now. So somebody asked me yesterday, you need to tell people how much it's going to cost to build this senior center. So I'm thinking it's going to be $800,000 or $900,000. So I need all the help and donations that we can get. So.
Well, that's a pretty lofty goal, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a commercial building, commercial kitchen. You know, it needs to be pretty big, so.
One of the things, as you mentioned, that comes out of the senior center, our existing senior center right now, which is about how many square feet?
About 5,000.
Okay. Is the daily meal a day, 5 days a week, very few days through the year that you don't serve.
Just 3.
Just 3, okay. So 100 and something meals each day go out. What about these cooks, these helpers, and these drivers? You have a number of them that are volunteers.
Yeah, I've got about 80 volunteers that volunteer for me.
Okay. Do you have any openings right now for volunteers?
I just filled all my openings. I was really excited. I had an opening and I filled it just this week with 2 different people.
Okay.
One driver, one cook.
So you have those who help prepare, you have those who actually cook, those who box up the foods, those who take it out to the routes and deliver. So like how many in each? How
many's in route? About 20 something in each route.
Okay. How many drivers do you have?
Well, some of them are team drivers. So, I mean, I've got 6 routes, 5 days a week. So that's 30 drivers. Some of them it's more, maybe 40 drivers is what I have.
Okay.
So
it's really a pretty massive operation, Roger.
Yeah, and it runs.
Sounds like
runs pretty like a well-oiled machine.
Okay.
You know, it's good.
The foods that you prepare there for meal a day, and send out to those homebound people, but also people come in and buy a lunch and eat.
Yeah.
And the age limit, Roger asked this earlier, what is the age limit to participate at the senior center?
I mean, how old do you can't be over 110. No, that's not right. We had a 112-year-old. No, it starts at 50. You can be 50.
Okay.
I'm 13 years behind.
And you can do exercise, you can do crafts, painting, you can learn things there, like the elder care attorneys come once in a while.
Yeah, they come. Well, yeah. There's a lot of things that go on there. I mean, we play games. There's 42. There's bridge. Anything you can think of, we have there to opportunity. There's a computer that's online. We have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. If you just want to bring your tablet or phone in there and sit there and use the free Wi-Fi, you're welcome.
And as your message says here on KSST, the coffee pot's always on?
It's always on. Guarantee Bond Bank supplies all of our coffee, so we thank them for that.
Cappuccino?
No.
Oh, no.
We have plain coffee.
Community coffee.
So we're going to have fun on Saturday night. As you were talking, Roger, when we put this dance and jamboree, we were going to do Christmas and what kind of country music?
It's classic country. If you want to hear some Hag and Jones, we're the place to be.
Okay. Now, Don Woods Jr. is one of our guests.
Don Woods is one of our guests. He does a lot of the newer stuff, but he also has several originals. You know, he has a really nice CD out, and Don Woods is a great entertainer. Came to us about 7 years ago, and it's been great having him on board. And he has actually been on the shows for the past year, and he is a big addition to our show.
He's going to be singing. He's got a great voice, Karen. You're going to love his music. He's young and he's good looking and he's extremely talented, and none of that hurts. Shanna Carter's coming. She's young and good looking. Her parents were each performing at the Riley Springs Jamboree back in the 50s. they met one night, her mother and dad, and married. And so
Nice.
there's a family of Carters. And Shanna's brother, Terry, is also a great musician around this area. So lots of jamboree tradition comes into this dance
That'll be
Saturday
good.
night.
That's good for the people that normally don't go out there, and y'all are coming to them, and maybe you'll get them hooked and they'll start coming out there.
They need to.
We have to get you a bus for the senior citizens.
There you
center. You
go.
can truck
Yeah,
them
I
out
can
there
have a
once a
bus.
month.
Good idea, Roger. Good thinking. Well, this Saturday night, Sulphur Springs Senior Citizen Center at what address?
150 Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Could they use that same address to mail you a check for the building
Yes, they
fund?
sure can.
150 MLK Drive in Sulphur Springs.
Yeah. Just make it out to the Senior Citizen Center.
Okay. And Roger Reed and the Sunshine Band.
At 6 o'clock.
Okay. Yep. The dance starts at 6 o'clock. This Saturday
6
night, be
o'clock.
there.
And I'm serving cookies and punch.
Okay.
Maybe some hot chocolate.
And then in the new year, follow the Jamboree back out to the Riley Springs Community Center. And who have we got coming in January?
In January, we have a gospel show coming on early time at 6 o'clock. Our show normally starts at 7. In January, we have a local group, Psalms 100 will be there. And we have a special guest from Dallas area. Her name is Mary Faye Jackson. You can look her up at maryfayejackson.com. She is really good. She hosts a TV show out of Dallas, a gospel country TV show. And I know that folks will really enjoy her.
Okay. That's the January Riley Springs Jamboree. The December one is this Saturday night at the Senior Center. Thank you both for coming in.
And in February, Jake Penrod, we need to put that in there.
Oh, my, yes. Thank you both. We will see you Saturday night.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.
And I also get the opportunity every once in a while to ask questions about, hey, Rich, I'm dealing with my young person. Are there any really primo jobs out there? I mean, really good jobs. What's the best job for me to have? This would be my list based on job openings that have high percent change, where the jobs are due to growth in the economy, not just replacing retiring workers. Lots of annual average openings that have a high wage. Oh, by the way, a lot of them require a bachelor's degree. Anything interesting about that list? You see a lot of what? Jobs in the healthcare, information technology sector, and actually some in education, but also a lot in the skilled business analyst, marketing consultant analyst, skilled business kind of profession. I want to wrap up here with a return to education requirements. The truth of the matter is, if we look at the population that's sitting out there, we look at the Texas population, 25 to 64, and the number of projected annual average job openings, we have, just at the education level, we got more than enough people with graduate degrees. We got just about the right number of bachelor's degrees. We got, technically, more than enough associate degrees. And what are we really short of? People with high school education. Now, how many of you believe that this is the way we should be looking at the labor market? The answer is, I hope that you say, just because we have that many people with degrees doesn't necessarily mean we have the skills that we need. So education and skills are not the same thing. Just because I have a degree doesn't mean I have the skills in that degree or the knowledge base that's going to allow me to access the jobs that are growing. So, this is kind of interesting because even within education categories, there are occupations that are very low paying and occupations that are very high paying. The difference for a bachelor's degree between a highest paying occupation and the lowest paying occupation is some almost $90,000 in this chart. For most recent graduates, it's about $50,000. Difference between highest earning bachelor and lowest earning bachelor. But the truth of the matter is, the highest paying high school occupation at $73,000 is actually as much as some that require a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and even a PhD. So education alone doesn't matter, but what you know within that education does matter. Here are the highest earning bachelor's degree programs from last year. Highest earning bachelor's degree programs. You see a theme that runs through this. Anything interesting about this list? Anybody see the word engineering? Anybody see anything about STEM? Engineering, mathematics, And notice the earnings here. This is 67, by the way, this petroleum engineering, at 63, this is 1 year post-exit. In 2011, that number was 101,000. Because in 2011, what were we doing? We're just starting that run up out in the oil fields, looking for as many petroleum engineers as we could get, and they were starting out at 6 figures.